Hey coders, welcome back to our UIKit series. In today's video, we'll continue exploring UIKit by working with view controllers. We'll cover the life cycle of a view controller and build a simple app that lets us navigate between the scenes. I'm just going to be building it from our very simple 101 app that we created in the other lesson, but you can just create a new UIKit project from scratch. So make sure you select Storyboard. And we'll be kind of talking about all the other elements, but for now, let's dive on in. So in UIKit, every screen of your app is managed by a view controller, as we can see in our assistant view here. So you can open that up by clicking on these rings here and toggling assistant. If you don't have it open, sometimes it looks like these lines. You can also go to the editor and enable assistant, or on the left side of your screen here, you can also toggle the view controller this way. If you want to work into a space that kind of looks like a normal Swift file, you totally can. But a view controller handles what the user sees and interacts with, as well as how that view responds to events. So each screen or scene in an app is typically a UI view controller. So we can see here, UI view controller. UIKit uses these view controllers to manage and organize content. So on our main storyboard here, it's currently connected to that first view controller when it was initialized. Pretty much every single screen should have a view controller associated with it in order to handle any code or interactions that are going to be happening. Let's take a quick look at the ViewController lifecycle. So I'm just going to go back to our ViewController folder here, so it's a little bit easier to see. We have a couple different stages. So the first stage is the view did load, and we can see that in our template that it did come with the view did load already. And essentially this is going to do any additional setup after loading the view. We also have view will appear. So we can type out override for function view will appear. And this will, will kind of tell us that the view is about to appear. View is about to appear. So if you want any, functions or anything to happen during that state, we can also talk about override function view did appear. So this is going to be when the view actually does appear to the user. And we can also talk about view will disappear and view did disappear. So similar to will appear and did appear, this is for when the view is about to go away and for when the view is, gone from the viewers being able to see it. So these methods represent those different stages. So the first one is view did load. When it's loaded into memory, view will appear and view did appear are called as the view appears on the screen, and view will disappear and did disappear are called as the view is removed. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these as we're not going to be using them. I just wanted you to be aware of them. They also are really easy to kind of fill in with Swift's like autofill feature there. So yeah. So let's go ahead and set up a navigation centered app today, just so we can kind of see how these different views kind of function. Just gonna make a little bit of space here. I'm gonna move our code over. I'm also gonna zoom out on the phone screen here. And let's go ahead and embed our view controller in a navigation controller. So I want you to select our initial view controller here. Don't worry if yours is blank. We'll add some ways to navigate later on. And we're going to select this view. So I'm going to select it at the top here on this bar. And we're going to go to our editor. And we're going to select embed in. And we're going to select navigation controller. There is also the option for tab bar. So you might be familiar with, like, say, the clock app, where you can select on those different options to navigate between the screens. So, like, I don't know why there's a thumbs up there. That's pretty cool. But like the world clock or the alarm feature, stopwatch, and things like that. But we're going to select the navigation controller here. And you notice that we have this other little screen that pops up that says Navigation Controller. So this provides a navigation stack, allowing us to push and pop view controllers as we move between scenes. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and actually add a second view controller. So we can go to our object library at the top right here, and we can actually just type out view controller. You can also just scroll and find it, up to you. And we can drag and drop this onto our canvas here. And you'll notice that we now have this second phone screen. Let's go ahead and also add a label. And let's double click on it and we'll just say second screen, just so we know when we've gotten there. We can also close out our assistant viewer, just so we can reclaim a little bit of visual space here. A little bit easier to see. And I'm just going to move this to the center of the screen. Amazing. Cool. Now in our first view controller, let's go ahead and add a button. And we're going to say go to second screen. So you might want to do this when you are kind of creating maybe like a settings, or maybe this is your home menu and you want to take it to another feature, right? You can use a button to kind of navigate to the second screen. So what we can do is, instead of actually dragging this onto our assistant viewer and our view controller, we can hold Control and we can drag it to the second view controller. We can let go and we can see that we now have something that says show our action segue, and we can show detail, present modularly, present as popover. So these are going to allow us to kind of share those view controllers and also change how it's displayed. We're going to go ahead and hit show, and that's just going to kind of bring us to the other screen. If you want to do like a popover, so it's kind of hovering over the screen, you can play around with them, and you can kind of see how those different segue modes can look and interact. Cool. So let's also go ahead and run our program, and we can see how that looks. Awesome. So if we go ahead and press the button, it should take us to the other screen. And we can see that it does. And we add that label, so it says second screen. We can press the back button in order to return to our previous home screen. And now we can kind of just go back and forth as we want. And our button still works from before, which is great. So this is how you can actually use that navigation controller. You can use a button to navigate to it. And because it's embedded within the navigation controller, it comes with the settings to where we already have the back button. Pretty cool stuff. That's it for our introduction to view controllers and the UIKit lifecycle. We set up navigation between two screens, used a navigation controller, and explored the view controller lifecycle. In the next video, we'll be diving deeper into UIKit components. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Swift and UIKit content. Until next time, dream big and code bigger. Take care.